Hello, it's Karen again from the North Suburban YMCA, and I am here to take you through 45 minutes of exercises to help you improve your balance. I'd like you to have a chair handy, and if you'd also like to have some kind of another surface to help you stay balanced, like a bureau, or a countertop, or the back of a couch, or a wall, or a table, whatever works for you will be great. What we're going to start out with is we're going to stand tall with our chest up, our shoulders down, and our core engaged or your belly tight. And then I would like you to just simply shift your weight from one foot to the other. You are welcome to use your stability aid. I'll use my chair for now, but you could use your chair and or something else to help you shift. You're just shifting your weight. I'd like your knees to have a tiny little bend in them. Your chest is up, your shoulder is down, your belly is tight. I'd like this to be engaged throughout the whole class, keeping those shoulders down, keeping your belly button to your spine. If you were to make a TH sound like think, thank, or thunk, that engages your transverse abdominals, and I want those engaged throughout the class. All right, we're going to get a little bit more challenge now. We're going to lift up our foot off of the ground. If you need your balance aid, you could also do this facing the back of your chair, or your table, or your couch, or your countertop. Your chest is up, your shoulders are down, your belly is tight. And you're just shifting your weight from one foot to the other. Make sure your knees are still soft. This is engaged. I'd like you to get a lot of your balance from here, not just from your ankles and your knees and your hips. Again, your chest is up, your shoulders are down, your belly is tight. Now what I'd like you to do is bring the leg up behind you as you shift your weight from one foot to the other. Bring that leg up behind you. Remember, you can hold on to your balance aid. Shifting your weight and lifting the leg up behind you. It looks like this from behind. The leg you're standing on still has a soft knee. Not from behind, it looks like this from the side. Lifting the leg up, lifting the leg up, using your hamstring muscles to curl that leg. Now we're going to change it slightly. I want you to bring it behind you from your glute. We're warming up the joints. We're working on balance. Lift the leg behind you. Lift the leg behind you. Soft knee of the leg you're standing on. Again, your chest is up. Your shoulders are down. Your belly is tight. That core is engaged. You're not just bending your knee now, but you're lifting that leg behind you. Remember, you can hold on to your chair or your countertop for balance, or you can just have your fingers above it. Now we're going to change it again. We're going to bring that leg in front of you. So you're standing on one leg, you're lifting the other leg up with your core tight. Only lift it as high as you comfortably can. Keep the leg you're standing on with a soft knee. It looks like this from the side. Lifting that leg up in front of you. The knee is soft of the leg you're standing on. You're standing tall the whole time. When you lift that leg up, I don't want you to round forward. If you can help it, I want you to stay straight the whole time. I want you to start thinking about the four corners on the bottom of the foot that you're standing on. So as I stand on my right foot, I think of the four corners, one on either side of the ball of my foot, one on either side of my heel. Same on my left foot. Four corners, and evenly distribute your weight on those four corners. It's okay if you end up having to shift a little bit. That's okay. We're working on improving our balance. It doesn't matter so much what it looks like, it's what it feels like. So feel from the bottom of the four corners of your feet. Feel through your ankle and your knee and your hip and your core. Feel yourself being stable. All right, now I'm going to have you stand on your leg that is closest to your balance aid. And then what I'd like you to do is bend the leg behind you, bring it back, bring it out, and then bring it forward. And then bend the knee, bring it back from the glute, out to the side, and forward. Again, bend the knee, bring the leg behind you with the glute, out to the side, and forward. Two more times, bend the knee, bring the leg behind you, bring it out to the side, bring it forward. One more time, bend, lift, abduct, and flex. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. You turn around and face the other direction. I'm going to keep facing you. I'm just moving my chair over. Take your time to move your chair. Now we're going to do it again, standing on a leg that's closest to your chair or your table or your countertop. Bend the other leg from the knee. Lift from the glute. Lift out to the side. Lift to the front. Bend from the knee. Lift from the glute. Bring it out to the side and bring it to the front. Again, knee, hip, 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 knee, hip, hip, hip. One more time, knee, hip. Whoops, did you hear me kick the door? And hip. Good, march your legs. Okay, so what we were doing is practicing balancing while moving the other leg around. Go back to your first leg. And what I want you to do now is I want you to do a smooth transition. I'm going to move up a little closer to you. So you're going to now just bring that leg back and out to the side to the front. And back and out to the side to the front. Whenever you need to put that foot down, do. Otherwise, you're going to challenge balance on this leg while bringing the leg behind you out to the side and in front. Notice you have to lift your toe of this foot up in order to do that. So we're doing sort of a compound thing now where you're lifting that toe, moving that hip. This knee is soft. The leg I'm standing on has a soft knee. And I'm shifting my weight behind me, out to the side, in front of me, and trying to balance while I do that. Feel free to use your balance aid. I don't want you to white knuckle it, but I would like you to have it there in front of you if you need it. Now we're going to go the other way. Bring it in front, out to the side, behind, and back in front. That toe is up. You might hear my foot scraping on my mat here. My mat kind of bows up a little bit. When that leg's in front of you, try to not lean back. When that leg's behind you, try to not lean forward. So we did our first circles from back to front. Now we're doing it from front to back. So we did the clockwise motion now. We did counterclockwise the first time. We'll do one more. Come on down and march your legs. If you ever find, I'm going to need to move my mat a little bit. If you ever find that you are fatigued before I finish, that's not a problem at all. You just stop. If something starts to hurt, stop. Listen to your body. Okay, I've moved my chair over. You can turn around. We're going to stand on the second leg now, the leg that's going to be closest to your apparatus to help you balance. Soft knee, think of the four corners on this foot, and now we're going to bring the other leg behind us, out to the side, and in front. Remember, you're lifting your toes up on this foot. I flattened out my mat so it's not scraping as much. So behind you, out to the side, in front, back to neutral. Feel free to put that foot down whenever you need to. Should you lose your balance, you need to regain it by finding that balance again. And that may include putting your foot down. Think of the four corners on the bottom of this foot. Keep this knee soft. Torso is tall, shoulders are down. Oh, I'm getting messed up. Belly is tight. Again, one more time. All right, now we're going to bring it to the front and around to the back. Around. So your knee is soft. You've got the four corners on the bottom of your foot, evenly distributing your weight. Your chest is up, your shoulders are down, your belly is tight. One more. To the front, around to the back, and march your legs again. All right, very good. Next exercise we're going to do is we're going to just walk a little forward and walk a little backwards if you're comfortable walking backwards. If you're not, don't. Have your chair or your table next to you. Take a couple steps forward and then take a couple steps backward. You don't have to go far. I don't want you to let go of your apparatus unless you're absolutely comfortable doing that, but it is not worth falling. They don't need to be big steps. You don't need a huge range of motion. You'll notice I can only take a couple of steps before my feet disappear. We're going back again. If you're not comfortable walking backwards, don't. Go forward, turn around, and go forward again. And then turn around and go forward again. If you are turning around and walking forward every time, turn a different way each time. So what I'm doing is I'm turning toward my apparatus each time so that I know this way I'm turning to my right. When I go back this way, I'm turning to my left. And then I'm going to go forward and backward again. So you do whatever's comfortable for you. Don't let go of that countertop, chair, couch, wall, unless you are very comfortable doing that. I do not want you to fall. All right, now you're going to turn and face your balance aid, and you're going to walk sideways. I want you to have a slight bend in your knees. I want your chest up, your shoulders down, and your belly tight. And you're walking sideways. Try to keep your hips facing your balance aid the whole time. So you're not turning those hips, and you're stepping sideways. Good. This is good practice because you're changing the way that you're moving. We did forward and backward, and now we're doing side to side. We're going to add another one now. What I'd like you to do now, I'm going to start in the middle, is I'd like you to step in front and behind, and then in front, and then behind, and then in front, and then behind, and then in front, behind. So you get the picture. You're stepping one foot in front of the other, and then behind it, and then you're doing the same thing the other way. So we're going in front and behind, and in front and behind. This time you can let those hips move. You don't need to try to face forward the whole time. It'll be a nice little stretch for those hips after the other exercises that we've done. You don't have to white knuckle your balance aid. Just have it there if you need it. If you don't feel like you have to use it, you don't have to. When you're doing this exercise, you're a little bit more on those front two corners of the bottom of your feet, the balls of your feet. All right, now we're going to change it. Now I want you to step behind first, and then in front. And then behind first, and then in front. So it's not a lot different, but it is a little bit different because you're used to going in front first. Now I'd like you to go behind first, and then in front, and then behind, and then in front. Your chest is up, your shoulders are down, your belly is tight. You're stepping in behind first, and then in front. Remember, those hips can move. You've got more weight on the ball of your foot than on the back of your foot, or on the heel of your foot. Your chest is up, your shoulders are down, your hips are moving behind and in front, and behind and in front, again behind, and in front, one more time behind and in front. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to practice just balancing on the one leg. So I'm going to set my timer. We're going to do this for 1 minute. We're going to stand up tall. We're going to stand on this leg. We'll lift the other leg up and just try to balance on it. Use your balance aid if you need to. I'd like you to at least have your fingertips near it so that if you need it, you can lean on it. I'd like you to be standing on the leg that's closest to your balance aid, lifting up the other leg so that if you fall towards your balance aid, you've got to hold on to, but if you fall away, you can step on it. If I'm lifting up this leg, if I go to fall this way, I have nothing to grab. So I want you to be lifting up the outside leg, standing on the inside leg. Okay, your chest is up, your shoulders are down, your belly is tight. Your knee is soft. You're thinking of the four corners, 2 on the front of your foot, 2 on the back of your foot. Ready, get set, lift up your other leg. You can lift this leg up in whatever way you are comfortable lifting it up. If you don't have trouble balancing with it up in the way that you naturally lift it, then try moving it to some different points to see what it feels like in different places. Remember, you can always have your hand on your balance aid. You're challenging you, whatever that looks like for you. You might just stand here the whole time and hold on to that if you need to. We're working on improving your balance. You don't need to have excellent balance yet. If moving that leg around isn't challenging enough for you, you could move your arm around too. You can do all kinds of different things to challenge the balance of the leg that you're standing on. You could try letting go of your apparatus and just having your hand above it or near it if you're on the wall. You could also try looking around. Looking around makes it much harder to balance because you're changing your frame of reference. The world is moving, but you're not. And then last but not least, you could try closing your eyes. We're going to do that a little bit later with some other exercises. You don't have to do that now. You challenge you and listen to your body. And we are almost done with our 1 minute. All right, march your legs. We are done. Good. Now we're going to turn around or move your chair if you're using a chair. Or if you've got something on either side of you, you don't have to change at all. Move my chair over just a little bit. Okay. With your chest up, your shoulders down, and your belly tight, you are now standing on this leg. This knee is going to be soft. You're thinking of the four corners on the bottom of the foot. You're going to tighten your glute and your thigh, and we're going to pick up the other leg, and we're going to work on our balance for 1 minute. So remember, you can hold it there with your hand on your balance aid. I'm going to move mine over just a little bit more. It's a little too close. Or you could move that leg around. Again, you're just trying to challenge you and do what you can do to work your body into a more challenging position. I was going to say an uncomfortable position, but it doesn't need to be uncomfortable. It just needs to be more challenging. You can add the arm in. Whatever works for you to challenge your balance. Remember, you've always got your balance aid there. You can try looking around. Looking around is a wee bit more challenging. You've always got your balance aid, and you can always put your foot down if you lose your balance. Think of the four corners on the bottom of this foot. Try to evenly distribute your weight on those four corners. Keep this knee soft. Keep your chest up, your shoulders down, your core engaged, or your belly tight. And we are done. March your legs. Good work. Okay. I said we'd do one with our eyes closed later. We're going to try that now. You're going to put one foot in front of the other. Demonstrate from the side so you can see it. You'll have the heel of the front foot touching the toes of the back foot. You're standing tall. You can do this facing your balance aid, unless it's a wall. I don't want you to do it facing the wall. I'd like you to be sideways. If you're using a wall for balance aid, I'd like you to be sideways to the wall. If you've got something else, you could face it, because then you can grab it. Okay, your torso's tall, your shoulders are down, your belly is tight. We're going to close our eyes and we're going to try to balance for 1 minute in this position with our eyes closed. So have your hand on your wall or your chair or countertop or table or couch or whatever you've got there. Or you could have both touching. Ready? Get set. You're going to close your eyes. So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to feel through the bottom of our feet and through our legs and through our body where we are in space without the aid of our eyes. So just breathe. Chest up, your shoulders down, and your core engaged. Use your balance aid whenever you need it. Do not fall. Think about where you have your weight distributed. Think of your four corners on the bottoms of both feet now. And if you're leaning more on one foot than the other foot, try to shift your weight so you put some more weight on the other foot. I tend to lean on my back leg, so I'm trying to put a little bit more weight on my front leg. Think about being straight up and down. If you're someone who tends to lean back, try to bring some of your weight forward. If you're someone who leans forward, try to bring some of your weight back. Try to do this with your eyes closed. If you start to get dizzy or you lose your balance and you feel the need to open your eyes, by all means do. We are done. Now everybody open your eyes. March your legs. Do not turn around. Put the other foot in front. The reason I tell you to not turn around is because when we turn around, we forget which foot was in front. This way you're just shifting the feet. Your chest is up, your shoulders are down, your belly is tight. Evenly distribute your weight on those 8 corners, and we're going to close our eyes again. Ready? Get set. Close your eyes. Use your balance aid if you need it. Think about how you feel the floor coming up through your feet. Think about what your ankles are doing, what your knees are doing, what your hips are doing. How do you feel? Where are you in space? Can you feel yourself grounded through the floor? Are you leaning back on one leg or forward on the other leg? Is your chest up? Are your shoulders down? Is your core engaged? Remember, you don't want to lean back or forward. You want to be a straight line. Your shoulders above your hips, your ears above your shoulders, your hips at that intersection between the back of the front foot and the front of the back foot. Just challenging yourself. You can open your eyes at any point, should you need to. Try to evenly distribute your weight on the 8 corners on the bottoms of your feet. Breathe. And we are done. Open your eyes. Move those legs. Very good. Okay. Now we're going to do something that's more of a strength builder. So we were just working on balance and balance and balance. Now we want to build a little bit of strength. So we're going to take one foot, put it in front, one foot, bring it back. Oh, space is not quite big enough for me to knock back into the closet there. So one foot in front, one foot behind. Back heel will be up. It looks like this from the side. Your back heel is up. Then you're going to bend both knees, and we are going to lunge. You want your feet hip width apart, meaning that I'm not trying to line my feet up one behind the other, but I have them straddling a center line, which would be the middle of my body. The heel is up. We're going to bend both knees, and then we're going to come back up. We are doing a lunge. It looks like this from the front, and from the side, it looks like this. You're bending both knees. Notice my front knee does not go in front of my front toes. Even if I go all the way down to the floor, I am not letting this knee go in front of my toes. If I need to, I could move my foot up a little bit more. Torso is tall, shoulders are down, belly is tight. You only do a range of motion that works for you. It may be a tiny range of motion. You may be able to just stand here. You do not have to lunge. If it hurts either set of knees, or your ankle, or your foot, or your toes, or your hips, or your back, then you just stand like this. And if that starts to hurt, you get out of this position. Otherwise, you are lunging a little or a lot, depending on your capabilities. If you fatigue on this leg, you can switch to the other leg. Otherwise, we'll do this leg a couple more times. Your torso is tall. You're not leaning forward. You're not leaning back. You've got your apparatus. Typically, I would like you to be next to your apparatus, but I wanted to demonstrate what it looked like from the side, and I don't have enough room to put my chair behind me. And if I put it in front of me, you can't see so well. All right, we're going to switch legs now. So if you haven't already switched legs, switch legs. If you want to move your apparatus to the other side, or if you've got something on either side, that's fine. You could also keep it where it was. We're going to put the other foot in front now. I had to think about it for a moment. Okay, notice hip width apart again. Okay, you don't want to try to line them up. And then that back heel is up. And we're going to bend both knees. Again, only a range of motion that works for you. Your torso is tall, your shoulders are down, your belly is tight. You're just going up and down. The chair is in the way. There we go. Or you can hold in place. Remember, if you hurt while you're trying to do any of these, then don't do them. I don't want anything to hurt. If you can go all the way to the floor, great. But remember the rule there. This knee can't go in front of that toe. So if my foot was further back, you'd see my knee going forward more. That's not good for your knee. So you want to keep yourself set up so that that knee stays behind the toe no matter how deep you go. And remember, you don't have to go deep, and you also don't have to do it at all. You can just stand and practice balancing in this position. Why would this be an important balance challenge? Well, sometimes you have to straddle something. Sometimes you may sort of get stuck in that position and you have to stand there a moment. So this way you've gotten your body used to it and you've practiced it. And this exercise is helping us to build strength in both legs, through our hips and through our core. You're also challenging your balance by having that back heel up. Let's do one more, and then come up. All right, now what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to step back and step back. So we are getting into that lunge position while stepping back. So we're going to step back, come back up, and step back. I'd like you to do that step back without putting your heel down. So you are challenging your balance. And I would like you to do it. I'd like you to do it with your apparatus beside you. So you're stepping back. All right, so I've got my chair right beside me here. I can use it for balance. But if you're facing the camera and you have your chair beside you like this, that will work just fine. Stepping back and stepping back. You don't have to go down into a lunge. You can just step back. And now we're going to add in another tool that we can use to help us balance and to help us in dangerous situations. Sorry, I don't have a lot of room here, so I'm not going to step back so far. You're stepping back as far as you comfortably can or as far as your space will allow. Now what I want you to do is pretend you're falling back and say stop. and then come back up and then say stop. Then come back up and then say stop it. And then try stop it. And pretend you're falling backwards and stop. Say stop. Every time stop, you step back. Stop. So you are challenging yourself to be able to step back, stop, without falling, and making your body learn to stop it. And stop. So you're going to step back and stop. Got it? Stop. And stop. Okay, now we're going to be stepping to the side. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to practice just stepping to the side. And then stepping to the side. And then stepping to the side. So I want you to do this. Facing your balance aid, step to the side, and then step to the side. I realize that we run out of room here, so mine's going to be smaller, but you won't need to worry about what I'm doing. You do what you're doing. You're stepping to the side. Here's what it looks like from behind. Stepping to the side, and stepping to the side. Got it? So you're stepping to the side, and stepping to the side, and then what I want you to do is say stop it, and stop it, and stop it. And stop it. Got it? So you're going to say stop. And stop. As you step to the side, stop. And stop. Pretend you're falling now. Stop. Stop. If you want, again, if you want, you can be facing your chair, have it in front of you. Stop. And you've got that chair if you need it. Stop. Stop. And stop. You've got that chair if you need it to help you balance. And stop, so you can be sideways to me, where you're stopping and stopping. Got it? There's just not that much room here. And stop. Okay, now we're going to do it to the front. So, you're here and you're going to step forward and say stop. You could pretend you're tripping, stop. And then switch legs, stop. I'm going to do 2 on this leg because I did 2 on the other, but I would like you to alternate, stop. And then stop. I don't care if your foot turns a little bit in or a little bit out as you do this. You are practicing your body's ability to stop. Say it out loud. Stop it. Let your neighbors hear you. Stop. Because you are training your body to stop if you were to start to fall. And a few of you have already told me that this has helped you, so stop. You can practice this every day. Stop. Pick up that foot and stop. And stop. You want to practice stopping. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to practice it in all kinds of different directions. And you know how we did back and side and front? Well, you could do, let's say this was 6 and 3 and 12, or 6 and 9 and 12. You can go to 2:30, stop. Or 11, stop. Or 4, stop. Or 7, stop. And you just pick a way to go and then say stop. And practice stopping in those different directions, so that you can get your body used to stopping if you start to go down. Stop and stop. So join me in whatever direction you want to go and say stop and stop and stop. And you just practice balancing stop and then challenging yourself to stop in whatever way stop that works for stop you. Got it? Stop and stop. And stop, and keep going, a few more, stop, and stop, and stop, until you're sick of saying stop, you're sick of doing this stop, and you want to tell me to stop, and then I will stop. Okay, good. All right, so we practiced that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work on balancing on this leg and tapping in those positions. We're going to do our clocks. Have your chair ready, or you can face your apparatus. But when we're at the Y and we use that railing, we've got room in front of us. You may not have room in front of you to do it, so you could also do this to the side. So you're going to stand on one leg, and you're going to take the other leg and bring it out in front of you to 12 o'clock, and then 1 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock, and maybe you'll do 2:30, and then 3 o'clock, and then 4 o'clock, and then 5 o'clock, and you're balancing on this leg the whole time. And then you could switch and do 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Or you can do the same leg over and over to get back up to the top. I don't really care exactly what it looks like. I just want you practicing balancing on one leg while you move the other leg. You're standing tall, your core is tight. Now I'm going to go back with this foot. Come around. You do whatever's best for you. I want you to do each foot from midnight back to 6 o'clock and then from 6 o'clock back to midnight. So I didn't do this one yet, going from the front to the back. This knee is soft. The leg you're standing on, you're thinking about those 4 corners on the bottom of it. All right, let's do it one more time now. So you can come to the front and then slightly out to the side. Doing those clocks, it can be more than just once each hour. You can do halves, you can do quarters. This leg now from front to back. Notice I roll to those outside 2 corners of the foot I was standing on. Then I think about bringing those inside 2 corners down a little bit more. Now I'm going to do this one back. So you can do it however you'd like. I just want you practicing balancing and going through your cycle twice. Torso is tall, shoulders are down, belly is tight, up to the front. Okay, now we get to use our chair to sit in, but we don't get to sit quite yet. First, I'm going to have you do some chair squats with me. So, chair squats are a very functional, very good exercise to help you with balance. You want to think of your feet as being hip width apart. You can back yourself up to your chair so you're touching that chair with the back of your legs, and then you can sit down in that chair and then come back up. If your chair has arms, you need to use those arms to help lower you down and push off those arms to get up. That is not a problem. If you can sit down without the arms, but you need to put your hands on your thighs to help you get up and you need to lean forward far, not a problem. What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to roll to the inside of your knees, so that your knees, or the inside of your feet, so that your knees come together as you go up. I want you to keep those knees straight ahead, nor do I want you to roll to the outside of your feet, so that your knees go out as you go up or down. Think about those 4 corners. If you want, if you're in front of a couch or a table, you could also push on that couch or that table to help you get up. And if you're with someone, you can ask that person to help you. Hold on to their hands, and they could help you get up and down. Remember, it's okay to push off your thighs. It's okay to push off your chair. It's not okay to let those knees come together because it's going to hurt your knees. It's not okay to let them go out. Keep your knees pointing straight ahead, and you're going to go up and down. You keep going. I'm going to move my chair so you can see what it looks like from the side. And my point with showing it to you from the side is that I'm not letting my knees go in front of my toes. Notice I've got the backs of my legs touching my chair, and then I send my tush way back towards the back of the chair, and then I come up, but I keep my knees behind my toes the whole time. You do not have to have your legs touching the chair. If you feel safe standing a little bit in front of that chair and then going down, that's okay, but if you are more comfortable having your legs touching that chair and you feel safer that way, you'll know that chair's behind you and not going anywhere, that is absolutely fine. The objective again is to send that tush back so your knees don't go in front of your toes. And then once again, you want those knees pointing straight ahead the whole time as you go up and down to your chair. All right. I'm going to turn my chair to face you again. Move my mat again. It slips on this floor, something fierce. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be sitting in our chair. We get to be done with that now. We're going to do a couple stretches. So we did another strengthening exercise. Notice we did some balance, some strength, some balance, some strength. Now what we're going to do is some stretching. Stretching is as important for flexibility as balance and strength practice are. So what we're going to do to start out is we're going to do a hamstring stretch. So with the hamstring stretch, let me move my chair back a little bit more. With the hamstring stretch, you're going to take one leg, put it out in front of you, pull that toe up, and then you're going to gently lean forward from your hips. This is what it looks like head on, okay? My leg is straight, my toe is pulled up, and I'm stretching the back of my thigh. Some of you can lay down and touch your toe. That would not be me. I do not have that kind of flexibility in my hamstrings. I know that I'm tight, but I'm trying to keep my back flat. I'm going to demonstrate it from the side now, too. So, you're sitting on your chair with your leg out. So you're sitting with your back towards the back of your chair, but I'm not going to get up and move my chair. I discovered I can do it this way. My torso's tall, my shoulders are down. Stretching the back of my thigh, and I can lean forward some, but in order for me to reach for my toe, I have to round my back. I don't want to round my back. I want to keep that flat, so I'm stretching my hamstring to keep the muscles secure and safe. So I'm not straining my back as I do this. Your chest is up, your shoulders are down, your belly is tight. You come forward only from the hip. All right. Now we're going to switch legs. I'm going to demonstrate from the front again. So the other leg is going straight out in front of you with your toe pulled up. You're sitting nice and tall. The way I'm going to be able to do it that way, so I'm going to turn this way again. You'll get to see what it looks like for the other leg. So my leg is straight. This leg is still supporting me. My torso's tall. My shoulders are down. And then you can gently lean forward from the hip, only as far as you can go. If you can lay on your thigh and you can touch your toe, terrific. I can't. That's okay. We're all different. We all have different levels of flexibility, and that's what we're working on. Stretching out the back of your thigh. All right, come on back up to seated. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one ankle, put it on the other thigh. This may not be something you can do. I can show you an alternative if you can't. Otherwise, take your ankle up and put it on your thigh. This is a figure 4. You look like a number 4. Pure form of stretch, stretching the back. I'll demonstrate from the side here. Stretching the back of your hip, maybe stretching down this leg. You might feel it in your knee. You might feel it in your low back. Your torso is tall. If you cannot do this stretch, if you can't get your leg up there, that is okay. Straighten this leg out. Put your ankle down on your shin. If you feel a stretch in here, great. If you don't, try moving it up a little bit. And then you move it up until maybe it's here. And then over time, you can bring that leg in. We're looking for a stretch in this part of your body. You want to still try to sit as straight as you can. Your chest is up, your shoulders are down. And we're stretching, stretching, stretching. You'll find a comfortable position for your other leg that gives you enough of a stretch here. Breathe. This leg and put it down, and then we're going to switch legs. I'll turn and face you again. So remember, if you can't get it up high, take your ankle, put it on a straight leg. And you can slowly work your way up. And if you can bring your leg up onto your thigh, sitting nice and tall, with this leg bent, great. Again, it doesn't matter what it looks like compared to me or to anybody else. We're just trying to stretch out your area around your hip here, low back, down the thigh, and through the knee with your torso nice and tall. And we're going to hang here a little bit, and we're going to talk about the importance of flexibility, because what happens is when these muscles get tight, they pull your pelvis underneath you, and when your pelvis is pulled underneath you, it causes you, I'll put my hand here, to round your back. So if this is your pelvis and it starts to curl under, when it curls under, your back will round. So we want to try to keep that back as straight as we can, even as we do this. If you're doing this and you feel like, gosh, my back is really round, then bring that leg out and see if you can get that other leg on top with your back straight. Nothing wrong with that. We're working on improving our flexibility. We're working on improving our balance. You didn't get this tight overnight. You're not going to get untight overnight. And that's okay. All right, let's do an inner thigh stretch now, too. If you have a chair with arms, it might be a little challenging. You can scooch to the front of your chair, just don't fall off your chair. You can also then scooch to the side slightly. You're going to put your leg out to the side. I'm going to move my chair over so I have a little more room. Come here, Karen. Just on the edge for it. Okay. Scooching to the side of your chair. If you don't have arms, bring that leg out to the side. Some people can put the bottom of their foot on the ground. Once again, I don't have a lot of flexibility. I blame it on the fact that I have long legs, but that's not the case. We're stretching the inner thigh here. We're sitting up nice and tall. I realize I look a little crooked, but I am actually sitting straight. It's just that my shirt is down on my hip. So you're sitting straight, stretching the inner thigh. Put your foot flat on the ground, great. If not, don't. And if you can't do this stretch in your chair because the arms are in the way, don't worry about it. You just get to sit for a minute. All right, we're going to switch sides. I'm going to move my chair again. Okay, sitting a little bit on the front and a little bit on the side of your chair. Put the other leg out to the side. So you're stretching that inner thigh. You can have your bottom of your foot facing the side, or you can put it on the ground. I can't. I like mine better facing the side. Stretching the inner thigh, sitting up nice and tall. There are so many muscles that we could stretch to try to help our bodies. We could do an entire 45-minute class of just stretching. An hour we could do more. All right, now what we're going to do, you stay in your chair. I'm going to turn my chair so you can see me from the side. You're sitting on your chair, get back to the middle of your chair. If you have arms on your chair, you can do this one too. Reach your arms out in front of you. Here's your chance in my class to round your back. Round your back. Drop your head down, stretch out your neck and your upper back. Lean forward a little bit to stretch a little bit more of your lower back. Rounding that upper back, dropping that head down, stretching out your neck. Now what I'd like you to do is bring your hands down on your legs. Just roll down, put your hands between your legs, reach for your feet. Reach for the floor if you can. You don't have to be able to reach your feet or the floor. I can't reach the floor. I can barely reach my feet. Now we're stretching out a little bit lower down the back. If you can reach the floor, you might be stretching your lower back as well. Some of you can put your hands flat on the floor. I am much more comfortable with my hands on my feet. We're just stretching out our low back. Down between your legs. Breathe. Come on up. All right. We're going to do another stretch now. Face you again. You know how we put our ankle on our thigh? Now what I'd like you to do is sit up nice and tall and put your thigh on your thigh. Okay, so you're sitting prim and proper with your thigh on your thigh. Now what I'd like you to do is turn in your chair slightly. You don't have to turn far. We're just trying to stretch this out a little bit more. Only turn as far as you comfortably can. And if your body doesn't like to twist, Marlene, this might not be something you want to do, then you don't have to do it. Just sit with that leg up and stretch out the outer thigh. I'm adding in a little bit more of the low back, mid back, and upper back. All right, now let's switch sides. The other leg is going across, sitting up nice and tall. This may be a perfectly fine stretch for you. If you want, you can turn and stretch a little more. If your body doesn't twist, though, please don't do this. You do not have to twist. If it feels good to you, you can go. Just feel that stretch. All right, come on back to the middle. We're going to stand up for one more stretch, and then we will be done. So, you're going to face your chair again, so you might have to move your chair. You'll hold on to it for balance. Should you need some balance help, you're going to put one foot back behind you. You're going to put that heel down. Your back heel is down. Your back leg is straight. Roll your shoulders back and down, but you can keep holding on to your apparatus in front of you. Your front leg bends. We are stretching your calf now, the top part of your calf of the leg that is back. Now you're going to keep that heel down and bend that back leg slightly. Now we're stretching a little lower down the calf, a little deeper towards your bone. Your torso is tall, your shoulders are down, your front leg is bent. Roll those shoulders back one more time. And let's switch legs. You're going to put the other leg back. That back leg will be straight. That back heel will be down. We're stretching the top part of the calf of the leg that is back. Roll your shoulders back and down. Your front leg is bent. Your back leg is straight. Now bend that back leg slightly. Keeping that heel down as best you can. Roll your shoulders back and down one more time. Stretching that calf. All right, come on up to standing. Congratulations, you did it. We did some strength, we did some balance, we did some stretching, all to help improve your balance. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great day. I hope to see you back at the Y as soon as we can. Bye-bye now.